in a way, ni kama selfish.
It's not selfish. I mean, it's good to be selfish and selfless. It's good to strike a balance. But I feel like every time we're celebrating something, be it Mashujaa Day, be it Valentine's, be it everything, we're always celebrating someone else. But when do we ever take time to celebrate ourselves? So maybe I'll celebrate myself 365 days a year. Yes, without apology.
Kwa hivyo utakuwa ni celebrate nikikukumbusha tu.
So me nitakuwa like I'm celebrating myself and also me, and then I'm also celebrating San, you know. But let's normalize celebrating ourselves, by the way. I feel like we don't give ourselves enough credit for this far we've come, the things that we've achieved, the storms that we've overcome. It's okay to clap for yourself. It's not bad. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And we have a great panel here. You mind introducing the guest that we have today?
Absolutely, but I always prefer when they introduce themselves. Me ndapitia tu juju. So we have the Riri family. Too late, nishaanza. So we have the Riri family here. That is Frederick and Ann Riri. I'm going to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself. Right. We also have Justina Syokau in the building. We also have Pastor Fred and Dorothy Abok. Wacha tuanze na wewe mwenye anasema anza huko. Introduce yourself, salimia Wakenya nyumbani.
Okay, my name is Ann Riri, a wife, a mother, a communications expert. Been married for 8 years to the man who's about to introduce himself next.
Hello.
Hello.
All right. My name is Frederick. Riri.
Yeah.
I work here.
Yes.
It's funny because I'm used to asking people questions.
Yes.
Now I'm being asked. I'm not used to this.
Very true. And today you're very casual as well.
Yes, I'm used to being somewhere else. So, yeah. So I'm grateful. Frederick, I'm married to this beautiful girl. Married for 8 years, like she said. Blessed with 3 children. We are also high school ministers.
Oh,
this morning we were preaching at a school called Skyline. She was the one who was preaching. So I was escorting her. So that is our ministry. That is what God has called us into. Yes.
You are also an ex-policeman.
Yes, I'm a former police officer. And we also want to say we are very passionate about marriage. We realize that so many people are not giving the marriage, you know, that good picture.
Right, that's true.
Yeah, and so we want to just bring that positive vibe in, you know, in the marriage arena. Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. Gorgeousness. Introduce yourself.
Hi, praise the Lord. My name is Justina Syokau. I'm a gospel artist. I'm a musician here in Kenya, motivational speaker. I have a book called Arise and Manifest Your Potential. And also I'm a marriage counselor. I've reached a lot of families, not only in Nairobi, but outside Kenya also. I thank God because my book also it's about marriage. And I believe marriage and I love marriage. And I am a single woman. I was married. But I want to say today that today as we speak about love, let us be positive. And the people who are listening us and you are there and you have a marriage which have wrangles, we want to pray for you today. And we are going to be, I know many souls will be healed today in the marriage. The people who are wounded, I think that is where I've come to speak to the broken-hearted, to the people who are single. Maybe you are married and you have been divorced like me. We have a dose for you today. So be tuned and we have a very good topic today. And I'm so happy I'm in between the biggest in the land of the living. Yeah, these people, no, not really. You are so much in wisdom, mostly in wisdom. I admire these couples. I love them. I pray for them. And also the host of today, you. I love what you do. I love DJ San, the way he is committed. God bless you guys. I'm here. Any question? Andikeni kwa NTV. Andikeni maswali.
Unakumbuka ile time tulileta movie hapa nikasema sijui kama sisi ndo tunamu interview ama ndio atatuinterview.
Yes,
I think leo Syokau ni co-host. Maka ashaambia kujeni kwa mtandao.
Asi.
Great. It's nice to be here. Thank you very much for the invite. Pastor Fred Abok is my name, and we are serving God at Regis Baptist Church, and we have always had a pleasure to just hang out with the young people and especially the marriage, nurturing the marriage, and just giving meaning to it and you know how we can be able to make it thrive by God's grace.
Amen.
And so we are honored to just celebrate the love. I think we're hitting 13 years. 14 years. Wow. Yeah.
Amen.
Where?
By the grace of God.
All right.
Yes.
Dorothy?
My name is Dorothy Mumboa Omanje Abok. And yeah, we are excited to be here, and thank you for having us. We are very passionate about, you know, working with young people, and especially who are young in the marriage. Just having someone to walk by your side is very important.
Yeah.
And so this is a ministry that is very close to our heart. And so I am excited. And so I welcome our viewers to just pull their seat, pick up their cup of coffee, and join this conversation.
Absolutely. Great. And wacha kwanza ni kwame hapo kwa 14 years. Let me remind us of today's verse of the day, and we're going to talk about it. Today we're reading from 1 Corinthians 13, 4-7. It's talking about love. Love is patient.
For sure.
And kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud. Watu washaanza kucheka. Or rude. It does not demand its own. It's not irritable, and it keeps no record of being wronged. It does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up. Love never gives up and never loses faith. It's always hopeful and endures through every circumstance. 14 years of marriage. What are your thoughts on that verse?
Hapo kwa patience kwanza.
Hapo kwa patience kwanza.
How is it working on the patient side?
I tell you, it's not something. It's more actionable than theoretical, because I believe that the practicability of it brings the joy within it, and we've actually experienced it. Out there, I'm a pastor, but of course, in the house, I'm a husband who go wrong at times, who does some nasty things. But of course, the patience has actually helped us to grow. And of course, this has actually been able to knit us together, and we have been able to just synchronize with one another. The kindness, you know. She's been my defense, you know. She's been the great lawyer, you know, I have, you know, and above all, the more we get to be with one another, the more we get to learn one another. It's a learning process every day. And of course, as much as we know one another, we still have an opportunity to grow.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I love that, before I come to you, San, that Mr. Frederick Mutiri, you mentioned that people are really speaking ill of marriage. It's a beautiful thing, but people are really tainting a bad picture when it comes to marriage. Sasa kuna hiyo part ya endures, yeah? And I'm going to touch on a personal story for you guys that you shared. Mulishare kwa mtandao, so si personal. You know when people are taking wedding vows, nimeona, experience, ni people say in good and in bad, in health and in sickness. In health and in sickness, hapo sasa ndo mlikuwa tested kabisa, because at some point you went for surgery and she had to take care of you. And most people ikifika hapo, they're like, we, mimi sikukuja ku babysit, and this is when I draw the line. You know, let's talk about that part.
Yeah, I think that was 2018 and 2019. I had 2 surgeries. Sijui kama mtaniruhusu. Unajua nimezoea kuzungumza. Watu wote unaongea kizungu. Kizungu mingi hata Kiswahili. Even Kiswahili you are allowed. Say for English. So I had a surgery.
Hatuja kuruhusu.
Nipambane. Yeah, I had 2 surgeries, and they were those kind of surgeries that, you know, you wouldn't want visitors to come and visit you.
Right.
They are not the kind of surgeries that you know, in a hospital, guys are coming with fruits and telling you. I was in my bedroom after the surgery, of course, because ni zile za aibu, ni zile surgeries za aibu, ni kule behind the scene.
Yes.
And so I never thought would be in such a position in our lives. You know, you don't marry and then you start thinking you're going to fall ill. This girl used to wash me. Because ilikuwa tuseme tu ni huko behind the scene. So alikuwa ananiletea you know, ni zile surgery za aibu. And
I want to analyze more.
Yeah, I saw love. I saw love from my wife, that she could bring some water for me with salt, and I would sit on inside the water. After some time, iko na uchafu anatoa, anapeleka, anamwaga. Sometimes I'm in the toilet and I cannot be able to, you know, even kutoka kwa toilet seat. She'd come, carry me back to the bedroom.
Wow.
You know, wash me after I've gone to the, you know, to the loo. And for the first time, I saw someone who gave up herself for me.
Right.
Yeah, I know Jesus did that for me.
Yeah.
But I saw someone who cared for me in a way I had not seen in my life. You know, a parent would do that to you. But I saw somebody I do not know. She's not my relative. She's a girl I met. I think that by that time we were barely married for, I think, 5 years. 5 or so years. And this person cared for me deeply. So for me, I saw caring deeply. Yeah.
Let's be honest, Anne. How was that experience for you?
It wasn't nice. It wasn't nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said let's be honest.
Yeah, let's be honest. I mean, do you feel like it really, it forced you to explore a side of you that you didn't know existed?
Exactly. I will say I'm thankful for the vows, and I'm thankful for believing strongly, because that is where you realize now what you've been having in the background of in sickness and in health, and that strong belief that I'm not going anywhere, that I care deeply for this person, and all that foundation you've been laying of love and commitment.
Right.
Now what you are able to practice it, because I feel like if we had not been, you know, trying to strengthen that foundation of love and commitment. I understand why people get tired, by the way. Because I feel like I'm so committed, I'm so in love, but then there's something we call, later on I learned about it and I read it somewhere and in some sessions we were attending. It's called, is it compassionate, something about getting tired, even when you're being compassionate. It's true, it's scientifically correct, psychologically correct, that even if you love someone, it gets to a place naturally tunaanza kuchoka ku take care of this person, and that's where the test comes, because you have to acknowledge I'm getting tired, but it doesn't mean I don't love this person.
Right.
And so you're able to pick yourself back up, realize this person still needs you, like, you know, nikichoka, and then you have to be, you know, careful with, it's the body, but his mind is also in it. He's a strong African man, former police officer, having to be washed. So I have to bear in mind what he's... sorry, I'm very serious about this. He's a bro. You know, so I will try to remember that psychologically he's also being tortured. So I'll try to be gentle. I'll try not to make him feel any smaller. You know, so it's a battle that you fight much more than just cleaning up after him or cleaning him. It's a lot. You really give yourself. Body, mind, soul, you know, you're still a mother. But here is another guy, and it's but I really thank God that I can say, I think we pulled through very successfully.
Marry right.
Marry right.
Marry right.
Hold that thought. Mapenzi wewe nikikupata.
I love what you've just concluded by saying loving right, and maybe I want to come to you, Justina. Love, we know love as the greatest, and marrying right, and we don't, like, in every situation that we get to, we always see like this is the right decision I'm making. How was it for you?
I think myself, I married the wrong person. I'm sorry to say that. This guy is supposed to be removed here when I'm talking. You're laughing. Hey, tafadhali. Kwa mtandao najulikana kama dokta wa mapenzi. Naponya nyumba nyingi. Nasaidia watu wengi sana, and I loved marriage. I used to see people who are single and I could say, kwa nini uko single? Akirudi kwa Bwana. I have never known that one day I will wake up and be in divorce. I've been raised by a pastor who are redeemed. And then my mom, she was so strictly Christian. And then she made me know God, walk in God. And then me, hata venye naonanga watu wanasomea Biblia kanisani, nilisomea kibarua. Kwote tulikuwa tunaenda kibarua kwa watu, tukilima. My mom used to tell us the stories of Bible. So I knew God. I didn't know another thing. I knew everybody in church is born again. So now I've been a very good, successful girl. In high school, I was the pastor there. I could be Justina the evangelist. Justina saved. Nilikuwa naitwa Justina saved. So I preached every lunch hour. Hakuna mtu wa CU alikuwa nakula. Tulikuwa tunaenda maombi. We could be given time. And let me tell you, prayer helped me to stay in school because there was no school fees. Then boom, God kwa mwaminifu, nimekuwa successful. Let me talk about now marriage because nitaongea sana. When I was in Kijabe working there, I started singing. And I became so successful in a quick way because I won in talent show. I won #1 out of 297 contestants. So because of that cafe kamekuja uko mdogo, pesa inaingia mingi, unabebwa na wanasiasa wale wakubwa kwenda kuwaimbia because ni wanasiasa walikuwa wameweka event. So I started getting in big cars immediately. I am in fame, wakanipeleka studio, kila kitu ikakuwa hivi. I say the time of God ikifika unaweza struggle miaka mingi, but the time of God ikifika ni hivyo. One day I'm performing in Riruta and then a guy saw me. Kizungu mkuti. Haijafika Ukambani. Mbeli hakuna maji Ukambani. So now this guy, the guy who married me, usually say that aliniona nikiperform kwa wedding ilikuwa Riruta. So kwa wedding ya best yangu msanii, saizi ya kwa America. So this guy starts calling, oh, he wants another VCD. You remember the time of VCD, nimlete VCD town. And me I was, so mimi ninamwambia siwezi kuja Nairobi juu ya 200 ama 100 ya CD. So utangoja ile siku nitakuja Nairobi nitakwambia I'm performing you come. Ananiambia hata nilikubaia na 2000. Hukuona mtu alikupea 2000 Riruta? Nikamwambia I didn't know. Because mimi nikaa Mkikuyu, ndethoko. Mimi sasa unajua ukienda sokoni kuuza vitu ukumbukangi ni nani alikupea nini hata veva, and then kwetu kuna umaskini ingine ilikuwa mob. So I am so hard working to see my mother to come out of poverty.
Very true.
Then I meet this guy went on calling. One day he had to come to Kijabe. Niko pale OPD mimi naita wagonjwa na serve room kama 12 kwa wagonjwa madaktari na waserve patient. Then this guy comes, mimi nimevaa white pale. Akakaa hapo kama patient. So venye nataka kutoka akanifuta akaniambia unajua mimi ndio nakupigianga Nairobi. So tukaongea akaniambia I want to see where you live. Sasa tukaongea. You know my family, some of my family members, they used to live in Kijabe and they were working in Kiwa and they were pastors. So nikamwambia siwezi kubali mapenzi mpaka maybe nikupeleka kwa madhe kuone. The guy agreed to see madhe. And mother is so strict. So akakuwa mzuri kwa kila family member. All of a sudden this guy nilikuwa nakuwa Nairobi every weekend. I used to work all the night shifts. Saturday, Sunday, Friday nakuwa Nairobi kufanya kazi ya muziki, kuimba. Do you know sasa nikakuwa hakuna kuimba weekend zote huyu jamaa amebook. Yani alinipeleka teke. Relationship yetu hakukuwa time ya relationship. Ni relationship ya kupanga event ya marriage. Wow. So every weekend nilikuwa either kwetu ama kwao.
Hold that thought.
Yeah.
We're going to take a very short and necessary break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Story huku zimeshika. Story mtu akipeana story na makofi.
Kamenuka.
Hey, semi crossing over.
I don't have to tell my daughter anything. She's smart enough to realize on her own that she'll never get anywhere with a man like that.
What makes you think that I'm asking for your opinion? I am only informing you.
Now that you're with him, are you taking my daughter from me too?
Her death was caused by a gas leak. That's like falling asleep. That's it. I wouldn't think that she ended up all...
She could have fallen and hit her face. We don't know. How can you be so insensitive? I actually bought myself a cart. I worked extra hard so we could achieve that, Leslie. But really, it doesn't matter now because you left me.
Oh, so that's why you betrayed my trust and told my father where I was hiding?
Yes, I did it because I love you.
It had to be you. To protect our family from germs that cause illness when it's cold, we use Dettol soap.
Dettol soap with germ defense gives you protection. When it's cold, germs are transferred in different ways, and Dettol soap's germ defense protects you from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol sure.
Claiming your assets is easy. Simply visit UFAA website www.ufaa.go.ke or dial *361# or visit Huduma Center near you.
I say me crossing over. Hey, I say me crossing over.
Mapenzi ni mapenzi. Ladies and gentlemen, karibuni sana. Thank you so much for joining us here on NTV. This is a crossover. We are having good vibes, good vibes, good vibes. We have an amazing panel here. We have the Riri family. We also have Justina, Syokau. We also have the Aboks. And before we went on a break, we were talking to Syokau, and we were trying to understand what are some of the lessons. And I love that you're open about your divorce, because I feel a lot of ladies feel a bit embarrassed because they're like, wah, aibu ilioje. But I love that you're vocal about it. Yeah. And maybe you can talk to us about some of the lessons that your divorce taught you.
Yeah. Mimi niliolewa haraka. In 6 months tulikuwa tumeshaoana. And then the mother-in-law, honeymoon tumetoka, mother-in-law ameanza kulala bedroom, and then I have nowhere to ask because nikiuliza naambiwa mama ndiye kila kitu, mama ndiye everything. Then fight ikaanza from nowhere. Every time unapigwa, mama amesema hujui kupika, mama amesema kuna letwa wanawake wengine kwa ndoa. And then atakwambia mama yangu akupendi, ndio sababu nimeleta huyu mwanamke, nataka kuoa, I need an embrace outside. So you will fight, unajua ukimuuliza kwa nini umeleta mwanamke mwingine kwa gorofa yenye tunaishi. First floor kuna bibi ameolewa, hata towel za bedroom ziko huko. So unapata every time mimi ndio niko in shock. Na ninapigwa kwa sababu nauliza kwa nini unafanya hivyo. And I didn't expect kuolewa na humanizer. I didn't expect kuolewa na mtu hata ni respect. So I used to stay, and also a lot of people tell you the 5 years of marriage na kuangana shida, but I just want to tell people now that marry the right person. The right person, when I married the wrong person because he used to bully me, remove me from job, anipeleke kwa reserve, ninakuwa servant wa kwenda na punda kwa maji, and there is no water in Mone River that time, na chimba. It was suffering back to back and kupigwa. Na hiyo immorality ilikuwa mingi. Na tena marafiki zangu ndo anaingiza kwa ndoa yetu. So it was so hard, and then niliachwa na mtoto wa 1 week. Tukaland kwa streets za Nairobi. The suffering was too much, and kitu yenye naweza ambia watu ya kwamba what I faced is a lot. Kitu yenye naambia watu ni kwamba don't marry in a faster way. Don't be desperate. Don't meet somebody today and before mjuane atujuana kutaka kuoe, uingie kwa relationship before mlearn. If you have not learned somebody, don't get into marriage. Because mi sikuwa na red flags, juu nilikuwa naonyeshwa the other side, the good side. So wasichana wasiharakishe kuolewa. Sahi bado na feel niko beautiful, na feel niko young, na sahi niko na 10 years down the line, nimetoka kwa ndoa 10 years ago. Na sahi ndio nasikia, sahi naeza date, you understand? So wasichana wasikimbilie ndoa ama vijana ambao wako pale nje. If somebody does not love you even in relationship, stop the relationship. And also I can say the wounded and the people who have been left, in case wanasikiza, you need to learn to forgive that person for you to heal, forgive. And also I can just tell people who are in marriage, who are here in wrangles like how I was, communication is the key. What I learned is that this guy was not giving me room to communicate, and also intimidation, alikuwa anani intimidate. So communication is very important in marriage. If there is no money, umeenda chini, ambia wife vizuri, sina do, ili mtu akuange anajua kile kinaendelea. I think communication and knowing what is happening in the partner's life is more important than kupigwa kila saa.
You've said an important thing like communication, and there is a highlight that you mentioned in your story of like twende kwanza uone wazazi. Maybe I would come to Pastor Fred, Abok, and Dorothy and ask, what are the foundations? What are the right foundations of marriage and relationships?
Miss Dorothy, talk to me a mic.
Thank you, Justina, for sharing what you went through, and also putting some highlights on some of the things people need to look into when they want to get married. The first thing when you're getting married, you need to ask yourself why you are getting married. It's very important to ask yourself, why are you getting, why do you want to get married? There are many people who get married because of, you know, pressure, because probably you feel you are behind time, or your peers have already gotten married, and you find yourself in marriage for the wrong reason. So it's important to know why you're getting married, and do you have the right person to get married to, and are you the right person for your partner? So those are very key. And of course, when you ask yourself why marriage, of course, we have, you know, God himself is the one who started the institution of marriage.
That's true.
And of course, when we are getting married, you need to ask yourself why you want to get married. And number one, the reason to get married is because you want to complete, you know, completion of one another. You want to be complete. And that's why you come to a place to ask yourself, are you the right person? Are you able to complete your partner? And of course, I will probably throw this to Fred, maybe to add on to that.
Right. Beautiful, of course.
And sorry, Pasi, while you're at it, maybe you can also talk about, because you also deal with couples, you do marriage counseling. Maybe you can also highlight on some of the common things or common mistakes in marriages, or common mistakes people make when they get into marriage that other people can avoid.
Yes. Of course, just building on that, but of course, allow me to push on the three elements, of course, that we marry, number one, to mirror God's image. We marry to bring on the reflection, because the originality of marriage is a God's idea. It's never man's idea. So, you know, the Bible says that for this reason, man shall leave his mother and father and be joined to their wife, and shall become one. That's an idea. So we marry to mirror God's image. But of course, number two is to complete one another. And number three is to multiply God's legacy. In that there's a legacy that we need to multiply, that be able to look like God. But of course, the common mistakes that people tend in marriage is, first of all, to look for the right person without being the right person. And of course, when you're looking for the Mr. Right out there, or Miss Right out there, without looking at yourself, how right are you? Looking at how right are you is asking yourself the question, am I ready? Emotionally, socially, spiritually, economically, and everything. Because, you know, Justina is saying, okay, but that I've married somebody who is actually a womanizer. Could this person actually was looking for security in you, did not have security, but was not ready for love? The number one, when you look at the 7 stages of love, we got the affection, whereby you love the shape, you love the hairstyle, you love the makeup. But of course, you will wake up in the morning and there's no makeup, and there's a real person right
no
here.
Hair either.
They're not hair, and there's a real person getting on, and you ask yourself, who did I really get on? Some of them even wear white teeth, and they do not have tooth. And you know, when you wake up in the morning and things have changed, and who am I? And you know, so there's an affection. An affection graduates to affirmation. You gotta affirm somebody and say, you know what, when I look at you at night, I look at you in the morning, I feel like you're the right person that I gotta be with. You are the person that I want to spend the whole of my life with. Whether you have makeup or you don't have it. You know, and you know, from what the carers have gone through, and you know, somebody who's able to take you. You know, on the 7 stages of love comes the 6th one. You know, because affection, affirmation, then there's an element of worship where you guys are able to come on together and, you know, begin to call one another language. The Slavesa, you know, kind of love, where you're able to refer to somebody and say, you know what, you are my partner. You're not just a girlfriend that I met somebody. You are my wife. Because you are permitted to meet every other person. You are, what I always tell people, you are permitted to mingle, you know, before you specialize. You can socialize before you specialize. But when you make a choice to specialize, you've actually socialized and actually identified that this is the person that I want to be with. And you know, when you get to regenerating yourself, is a point of understanding that, okay, divorce is not part of the vocabulary in this marriage. We are in this, whether in sickness or in death. We're gonna make it on. And you know, there is nothing that is going to push around together. We sit here not because we do not disagree. We disagree. But of course, you know what? Disagreement is a caboose on the train. And we say, what the engine that drives on this train?
Very true.
It's nobody. It's consistency, commitment, and love. And you know, and you know what we have actually right on in our family is that we are intentional. We're intentional when we wake up in the morning. We're intentional when we're buying gift. We're intentional when we are actually disagreeing, getting to understand that we can disagree, but we cannot disregard.
And just to add on to what Fred has said,
as we end up, because our time is also not on our side.
Yeah, it is important to take time to get to know your partner so that you don't make wrong choices, just like our sister did. So take your time. I made it clear to Fred when we were getting married that I want to take my time. I want to know you, and I want to know whether we can make a home together. And we took 5 good years.
Wow.
Courting, you know, getting to learn one another.
Don't try that at home.
And
Patience.
and so I knew the decision that I was making, and I was ready to marry him with the strengths that he has and the weaknesses that he has, because I knew I was going to complement him. The strengths that he has and the weaknesses that I have, we were going to complement one another. And that's why we are here today.
Can I
add
on
on that,
on something that he has said?
Very true.
And I was going to meet you guys.
There's something that Pasi has just mentioned. There's so many people who are getting in marriage with an exit plan. So many people. When we got married, I told her, I decided, personally I decided, when I was in class 8, I will never divorce. So whichever plan, and we also decided that we are not going to divorce, but I must be happy. So we do everything possible in our house to be happy.
Right.
So that in the end, we will never divorce. Because that is we have already said, this is our card. We are not divorcing. So what are we doing to make sure we don't get there?
Works,
there is no exit plan. Her Majesty.
That's what I'm supposed to talk about.
No, I actually wanted to ask even as we wind up.
Can you use the mic?
Yes, talk to me a mic. What are the 2 things that you learned about marriage that you wish someone warned you about? Then umekuja kulana uko where? Okay, kwa ground vitu ni different. 2 things. Tatumia mic.
Saidia nisiaibishe mtu wangu.
Mtumishi
wa Bwana.
Umekubalishwa.
Anka mkubwa. Anyway. I wish someone made it clear that I was a very selfish person. Yes. Because there's a friend, I think Sanes Tomboy, who puts it, that analogy of when you marry your 2 selfish people, then when you get together, each one focuses on the selfishness of the other one. So it took me such a long time to admit that I'm actually also a very selfish person. And marriage helps you see that. It helps you see that, oh, the reason we quarreled, yes, I was wronged, but it's like I'm always looking out for myself, honestly. I'm always looking out for not being hurt myself, and I'm really always looking out for myself.
Right.
So if I feel like if I knew that very, very clearly, it would really have helped from the onset. Because ever since that, and ever since we've started having those discussions of, and let's be real, over there you were looking out for yourself. I knew over there, that's why I said this. Then it really helped. And then I also wish we knew a lot about baggage and the things that we carry from our past. But today I say it and I tell couples, if you can afford it, kindly go for therapy before you get married. There is such a struggle with where you're coming from, how you were socialized, your childhood traumas, Nini. I'm like, hey, if I knew, I would actually have gone a step further, gone for therapy, and the therapy, kila mtu akuje akiwa more relieved, more fresh, more clean, more just you, without a lot of things that you're carrying with you.
All right, beautiful. Speaking of getting to know you guys better, Syokau, sasa Julo umekuwa co-host.
Kuna kitu moja naweza maliza nayo. Kwa wale ambao mko kwa nyumbani mnatuangalia.
Just make it briefly.
Yes.
Relationship haitaki fakeness. If people can be real, it will not ever end up in divorce.
Like the Riri family.
Riri family.
Really you. Really. So guys, wale wako nyumbani, if you are looking for a wife or you are looking for a husband, just be you. Don't look for money. Don't look don't look for money in someone's life as you go to marriage. Don't look for property, because property zinaishanga, zinakujanga, zinachukuliwa, mortgage zinachukuliwa.
Aya.
So watu waangalie mtu personality.
Twende kwa game sasa,
mtu mwenye ni real.
So this game is called Who's Most Likely To. We want to get to know these couples better. Who's most likely to do some of the things that are listed there? And I think the first page is for the Abok family.
Yeah, so what will they do? Raise
So,
their hand?
watauliza, for example, who's most likely to wake up at like 4 a.m. You point to the person who's most likely to do that.
Or you say...
You get it?
Yeah.
4 a.m.
Sawa. Let's do it as quick as possible.
Yes.
Time yetu imekimbia sana.
Okay. And here goes the questions. Kwa Box family, who is the most likely to keep asking question in the middle of a movie? Kwa Box family, who is the most likely to go through the partner's phone? Who is the most likely to get arrested for doing something silly? Who is the most likely to plan a surprise without the partners suspecting anything? Krisha, who is the most likely to cancel plans last minute? I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
Next
one. Who is the most likely to watch a horror movie at night with the lights off?
Clearly none of them.
Who is the most likely to pick dare in a truth or dare game?
I think that's for the really.
No, I think that's the last one for them. Yeah.
Yeah. Who is the most likely to permanently delete all the social media accounts? Who is
or you? Okay.
You can delete.
Sasa twende kwa the Riri family.
Twende kwa the real family.
Riri. You have to do this.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you guys are the real family, so let's see.
The real family. Who is the most likely to apologize first after argument?
You just point.
Who
Okay.
is the most likely to spend money on unnecessary things? Everybody.
Both of us.
Who is the most likely to laugh in serious situation? Really family? Who is the most likely to win a marathon race?
Of course, who else?
Who is the most likely to forget your anniversary date?
Who
is the most likely to start a conversation with a total stranger?
What are we?
Both of you. Who is the most likely to sleep late watching movies? Who is the most likely to finish a 40-day fast?
That's how you draw the line.
The really family. Who is the most likely? Hiyo ni personal. Fasting ni personal. Ni inside. Who is the most likely to be grumpy in the morning? Grumpy or grumpy? Grumpy in the morning. Yes, grumpy. Grumpy in the morning. Ataki kwenda job.
Zimeisha?
Yes.
Zimeisha. 40 days of fast.
That's how you draw the line. 40 days of prayer.
Mambo ya salvation.
Ni personal. Ni personal. Tusiende kwa TV.
Fasting 40 days.
Don't bring it.
Aya, asanteni sana watu wangu. We have amazing gifts for y'all. Hatutaki wasichana wapewe tu maua. Then we have the gifts.
Oh my God, that's very nice.
Kampuni naangalia watu wake.
Sasa tuanze na this is for the Aboks.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
Kama tuko mahali.
this is for the Queen Justina.
Thank you. Happy Valentine from NTV.
Thank you.
Mtuonyeshe ni nini?
Iko na Shakura.
Tuone wewe, tuone.
Hebu tuone ya Riri Family.
T-shirt ni yangu. T-shirt ni yangu.
Mtatuonyesha.
Acha tuone from the Riri Family.
Look at that.
Oh my God.
This is really nice.
Crazy in love with you.
Awesome. Sasa hizi mkiva lazima mkue next to each other.
Let's see from the Abok family. We want to see the other one.
Even the other one. It's also relevant.
Yeah.
In the meantime, tuone ya Justina.
Yeah.
Maybe I can help you with the flowers.
Thank you so much.
Strongest queen in the world.
Yeah, just take yours.
The strongest queen in the world.
Show
tuone za the Abok.
Wow.
Better half. Look at that.
Wow.
Better half.
Awesome.
You're the better.
Awesome. And then we can see from Justina. The strongest queen in the world.
The strongest queen in the world.
Vumilia.
Encourage yourself.
After marrying the wrong person. You become strong.
Hivi maua zako ukicheza nitaenda nazo.
Thank you so much.
Karibuni sana.
Na tukimaliza I want us to finish na song yake ya Valentine's.
Valentine.
So acha nivuke ipande nyingine.
Aya, but the dancers.
Valentine's.
Kila mtu na wake, kila mtu na wake.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for keeping us company here on NTV Crossover. This has been a blast. We definitely look forward to seeing you next Sunday. But for now, Valentine's is coming. Where's your boyfriend?
Oh my God. Ameenda back.
Don't marry for Valentine's.
Don't marry for Valentine's.
It's okay. It's okay pita ukiwa single.
Thank you so much, guys.
Next year watakuwa na mtu.
Nikushikie maua perform.
Yes, naweza perform.
Chunga hii.
Chunga, kuna mashini huko.
Hapo sasa